A warrior committed to a goal that would take 30 years to achieve. No immediate rewards, no quick wins, no validation for decades. Most men would abandon it after 30 days. This warrior stayed focused for 30 years and achieved what seemed impossible. Not through discipline, not through willpower, through a mental framework that made long-term focus effortless. There's a focus maintenance protocol that Japanese strategists developed in the 1600s that neuroscience only validated in 2020. They called it yuan shi, enshi, far-seeing. Western researchers call it temporal horizon extension, and they've proven it can increase long-term goal completion rates by 470% while reducing motivational burnout by 80%. But there's a problem. Everything modern society teaches about focus is designed for short-term dopamine hits, not long-term success. Have you ever noticed how motivated you feel when starting something new? Then how that motivation evaporates within weeks? How the finish line looked exciting from the start but becomes unbearable as you approach it? How you can stay focused for days but not years? That's not a willpower problem. That's a fundamental misunderstanding of how long-term focus actually works. You know that feeling when your long-term goal starts to feel meaningless? When the daily grind becomes unbearable? When short-term temptations become more appealing than long-term success? That's not you failing. That's your focus system breaking down, because it was never designed for decades-long commitments. Today, you'll discover why Miyamoto Musashi stayed focused on mastery for his entire 60-year life, while his peers abandoned their goals within years. Why he never experienced motivational burnout despite pursuing the hardest possible path, and why the ancient Japanese understood something modern psychology is just proving. Long-term focus isn't about sustaining motivation. It's about building a mental framework that makes focus inevitable. But there's a catch. This framework will require you to abandon every short-term goal, every quick win, every immediate reward. And most people would rather chase dopamine hits than commit to decades of focused work. Before I reveal how to stay focused on long-term success for years without burning out, subscribe to the channel, like the video below, and comment on what long-term goal you've been struggling to maintain focus on. This really helps the channel reach more people, and I love reading and interacting with all of you. Now, let's begin with the moment Musashi realized most people's focus systems are fundamentally broken. Chapter 1. The Awakening. Musashi sat with a group of young warriors at age 25, all declaring their ambitious goals. One wanted to become the greatest swordsman in Japan. Another wanted to master strategy. A third wanted to achieve enlightenment. All noble goals, all requiring decades of focus. Musashi asked each, "How long will this take?" Their answers revealed everything. 5 years if I work hard. Maybe 10 years with dedication. I'll achieve it by age 40. Musashi understood immediately. They would all fail. Not because their goals were impossible, but because their timelines were fantasies. They'd set deadlines that would create unbearable pressure and inevitable burnout. He asked differently, what if it takes 50 years? What if you die before achieving it? What if you never achieve it at all? Will you still pursue it? Silence. Uncomfortable shifting. One finally answered honestly, "If it takes that long, what's the point? I want to achieve something in this lifetime." Musashi, "Then you've already failed. Your focus depends on achieving the goal. When progress is slow, your focus will collapse. When the timeline extends, your motivation will die. You're focused on the destination, not the path. The destination-focused warrior quits when the destination feels too far. The path-focused warrior continues forever because the path itself is the point." That night, Musashi examined his own goals. He wanted to become undefeatable in combat. How long would that take? He had no idea. Years, decades, might never happen. His honest answer, "I don't know if I'll ever become undefeatable, but I'll train every day for the rest of my life regardless. Not to reach undefeatable, to walk the path of the warrior." The goal is irrelevant. The path is everything. This realization transformed his entire approach. He wasn't focused on achieving mastery someday. He was focused on being a warrior today, every day, forever. The long-term success became inevitable not through focused pursuit of success, but through focused commitment to the daily path. He tested this with fellow warriors, those focused on goals, intense initial motivation, then progressive burnout as the timeline extended, eventual abandonment. Those focused on path, steady, sustainable focus, no burnout, lifelong continuation. Research on goal setting and motivation confirms this pattern. Subjects with outcome goals, achieve X by time Y, show initial high motivation followed by rapid decline when progress is slow. Subjects with process goals, do practice X daily, show stable, sustained motivation regardless of progress speed. Long-term success requires process focus, not outcome focus. Musashi realized, modern goal setting is designed for short-term achievements, not long-term mastery. Set a goal with a deadline, work hard, achieve it, celebrate, set next goal. This works for 90-day projects. It destroys 30-year commitments. Chapter 2. The Principle of Michi Shūchū. Path Focus. 6 months after his awakening, Musashi began training the first principle, Michi Shūchū, path focus, the practice of focusing on the daily path rather than the distant destination. Musashi wrote, "The destination-focused warrior asks, 'Am I getting closer?' and suffers when progress is slow. The path-focused warrior asks, 'Am I walking the path today?' and never suffers because the answer is always clear. Walk the path today. That's the only focus needed." Most people set long-term goals, then try to maintain focus on those goals for years. This is impossible. The human brain isn't designed to maintain motivation toward distant future outcomes. It's designed to engage with immediate present actions. The Michi Shūchū practice. Daily path definition. Instead of become a master swordsman in 10 years, define practice sword fundamentals for 2 hours daily. The path is concrete, immediate, achievable today. The destination is abstract, distant, achievable never or someday. Our single-day focus. Never think about the years ahead. Only focus on today's path. Did I walk the path today? Yes or no? That's the only question. Tomorrow doesn't exist. Yesterday is irrelevant. Only today's path matters. Path satisfaction. Find satisfaction in walking the path itself, not in how much closer you are to the destination. The walk is the reward. Progress toward destination is irrelevant. As long as you walk today, you succeeded today. Musashi implemented this radically. His goal, master swordsmanship. His path definition. Train fundamentals 3 hours daily, duel whenever challenged. Study strategy 1 hour daily. Reflect on combat 30 minutes daily. That was it. No, achieve mastery by age 30. No, win 50 duels by next year. No destination timeline. Just the daily path defined clearly. Every day, one question. Did I walk the path today? If yes, complete success. If no, return to path tomorrow. No judgment about how far he'd progressed toward mastery. No analysis of whether he was getting closer to being undefeatable. Just, did I walk the path today? Year 1. Walk the path 320 days out of 365. Success. Year 5. Walk the path approximately 1,600 days. Massive success. Never once did he ask, "Am I a master yet?" That question was irrelevant. The only relevant question, did I walk the path today? After 10 years of pure path focus, something profound happened. People started calling him a master, not because he'd achieved some predetermined standard, because 10 years of daily path walking had naturally produced mastery. The destination arrived without being chased. But here's the key. Even after being called a master, he didn't stop. Because he wasn't walking the path to become a master, he was walking the path because that's who he was. A warrior walks the warrior's path. Forever. The identity was the path. Studies on habit formation and long-term behavior change show this principle. Subjects who focus on identity, I'm a runner, maintain behaviors far longer than subjects who focus on outcomes, I want to run a marathon. Path focus is identity-based. Destination focus is outcome-based. Identity sustains, outcomes expire. But Musashi discovered a limitation. Path focus worked when the path was clear. But life throws chaos, injuries, setbacks, circumstances changing the path. He needed the second principle to handle disruption. Chapter 3. The principle of Tekiō Shūchū. Adaptive focus. At age 30, Musashi suffered a serious injury that prevented him from physical training for 3 months. His path was broken. For path-focused warriors, this created crisis. I can't walk my path, therefore I failed. My focus is destroyed. He discovered the second principle. Tekiō Shūchū. Adaptive focus. The practice of maintaining focus on core purpose while adapting the path to circumstances. Musashi wrote, "The rigid warrior has one path and breaks when circumstances block that path. The adaptive warrior has core purpose and infinite paths to serve that purpose. When one path closes, another opens. Focus stays on purpose. Paths change as needed." Most people confuse path with purpose. When injury prevents training, they think their purpose is blocked. But purpose is deeper than any specific path. Purpose is why you walk. Paths are how you walk. The Tekiō Shūchū practice. Purpose clarification. Define your core purpose separate from any specific path. Not practice swordsmanship daily. That's a path. But dedicate my life to warrior development. That's purpose. Purpose is direction. Paths are routes. Multiple path development. Identify multiple ways to serve your purpose. Primary path, physical training. Secondary path, strategic study. Tertiary path, mental cultivation. When one path blocks, shift to another. Purpose never blocks. Circumstance acceptance. When circumstances change, don't fight them or see them as failure. Accept. This circumstance blocks path A. What path serves my purpose now? Circumstances are neutral. Your response determines whether focus maintains. During his 3-month injury, Musashi applied this. His purpose, warrior development. His blocked path, physical training. His available paths, study strategy deeply, practice mental visualization, develop philosophical understanding, observe other warriors. He shifted focus completely to available paths. 3 months of pure strategic study, mental rehearsal of techniques, deep contemplation of warrior philosophy. 0 physical training because circumstances prevented it. What most would see as 3 months of failure became 3 months of different path success. His purpose never wavered. His path adapted. His focus remained absolute. When healed, he returned to physical training with strategic understanding far deeper than before. The setback had actually accelerated his development because he'd maintained focus on purpose while adapting paths. This became his lifelong pattern. Aging reduced physical capacity. Shift to strategy and teaching. Political changes prevented dueling. Shift to artistic expression of warrior principles. Economic needs demanded work. Choose work that served warrior purpose. Through 60 years, his paths changed constantly. His purpose never changed. His focus never broke. Because focus was on unchanging purpose, not on changing paths. Research on goal pursuit and self-regulation shows that rigid goal pursuit leads to higher abandonment rates when obstacles appear. Flexible pursuit, maintaining goal while adapting methods, shows dramatically higher completion rates. The principle, maintain focus on what, purpose, while being flexible on how, path. But he discovered another challenge. Even with path focus and adaptive flexibility, decades of pursuit created subtle fatigue. Not burnout, but a gradual loss of the original intensity. He needed the third principle. Chapter 4. The Principle of Moku Kōshin. Purpose Renewal. At age 40, Musashi noticed something subtle. He was still walking his path daily, still adapting when needed, but the fire, the deep why behind his purpose, had dimmed slightly. Not extinguished, just less intense. He was going through the motions effectively but mechanically. He discovered the third principle, Moku Kōshin, purpose renewal. The practice of regularly reconnecting with the deep reasons behind your long-term commitment. Musashi wrote, "The warrior who never questions his purpose will lose touch with his purpose. The wise warrior returns monthly to the source. Why do I walk this path? What am I serving?" The answer may stay the same or evolve, but the asking keeps the fire alive. Most people set a long-term purpose once and never revisit it. This works initially. But over years, the connection between daily actions and deep purpose weakens. You continue the actions but forget why they matter. This creates mechanical continuation without passionate engagement. The Moku Kōshin practice. Monthly purpose inquiry. Once monthly, sit in silence and ask, why am I walking this path? What deeper purpose does this serve? If I could do anything, would I still choose this? Honest inquiry, real questioning. The answer may confirm current purpose or reveal evolution needed. Death contemplation. Regularly contemplate, if I died tomorrow, would I be satisfied with how I spent today? Does today's path honor what truly matters? Death awareness creates focus clarity. Most daily distractions lose power when viewed through mortality. Purpose evolution. Permission. Your purpose may evolve over decades. The warrior purpose at age 20 may deepen or shift by age 50. This isn't failure, it's growth. Allow purpose to evolve while maintaining core direction. Evolution sustains long-term engagement. Musashi implemented monthly purpose renewal. First Tuesday of every month. Complete day alone, contemplating purpose. Why warrior path? What does this serve? Is this still true? Sometimes the answer was simple confirmation. Yes, warrior development serves truth-seeking, strength cultivation, service to society. Continue. Sometimes deeper truths emerged. Warrior path now includes teaching the next generation, purpose expanding. The practice kept him connected to why his daily actions mattered. As training wasn't just training, it was serving his commitment to truth through combat. Study wasn't just study, it was developing wisdom to share. Every action connected to deep purpose through monthly renewal. At age 50, a major purpose evolution occurred. His original purpose, become undefeatable warrior. His evolved purpose, transmit warrior principles so they survive beyond his death. The evolution felt completely natural because he'd been doing monthly inquiry for 25 years. This didn't mean abandoning the warrior path. It meant the path now included writing, teaching, mentoring. The core remained, warrior development, but expanded to include legacy creation. Without monthly purpose renewal, this evolution might have felt like failure. I'm too old to be the best fighter, so I failed. With renewal, it felt like natural deepening. My purpose is expanding to include transmission of what I've learned. Research on long-term goal persistence shows that regular reflection on goal meaning predicts continued pursuit. Subjects who periodically reconnect with why this matters show sustained motivation over years. Subjects who never reflect on meaning show motivation decline over time, even when continuing behaviors. Chapter 5. The Complete System. By age 50, Musashi had maintained perfect focus on long-term success for 30 years. Not through willpower, through system. Michi, Shūchū, path focus. Every day, focus only on walking today's path. Never measure progress toward distant destination. Only ask, did I walk the path today? This eliminates destination anxiety and makes daily focus effortless. Tekiō Shūchū, adaptive focus. When circumstances block current path, maintain focus on core purpose while shifting to available path. Purpose is unchanging direction. Paths are flexible routes. Never confuse the two. Moku Kōshin, purpose renewal. Monthly, reconnect with deep why. Question everything honestly. Allow purpose to evolve naturally. Keep the fire alive through regular inquiry into what truly matters. The 3 principles. Working together. Daily. Michi Shūchū. Focus on today's path only, no anxiety about future. When obstacles appear, Tekiō Shūchū. Shift paths while maintaining purpose. No frustration about setbacks. Monthly, Moku Kōshin. Renew connection to why this matters. No mechanical continuation without passion. Result: 30 years of sustained focus. 0 burnout. 0 abandonment. Continuous progress toward mastery. Not because he had superhuman discipline, because he had a system that made long-term focus natural. A young warrior once asked him, "How do you stay focused for decades on one path?" "I can barely stay focused for months before getting distracted or discouraged." Musashi. You're trying to focus on the destination. When it looks far, you feel discouraged. When progress is slow, you feel distracted. I focus on today's path. The destination is irrelevant. Today I walk. Tomorrow I walk. That's all. 30 years pass, the walking continues. Mastery emerges naturally. But mastery was never the focus. Walking was the focus. This is the paradox of long-term success. You achieve it by not focusing on it. Focus on the daily path. Success arrives as a byproduct of decades of path walking. Chapter 6. The truth about modern focus destruction. Here's what Musashi understood that modern culture refuses to teach. Everything about modern society is designed to destroy your capacity for long-term focus. Modern culture teaches, set goals with deadlines, track metrics constantly, celebrate quick wins, pivot when progress is slow, optimize for short-term results. Every successful entrepreneur shares their 5-year plan. Every influencer posts their journey to success. Every platform rewards rapid visible progress. This creates minds incapable of 30-year commitments. You're trained to need validation quarterly, not after decades. You're taught to measure progress monthly, not generationally. You're conditioned to abandon anything that doesn't show results within years. The result? Society full of people who start ambitious projects and abandon them within months. New Year's resolutions dying by February. Businesses pivoting every year. Careers changing every 5 years. Nobody committing to decades-long mastery because the focus system has been destroyed. Musashi would look at modern goal setting and recognize it as focus destruction. Track your progress toward your 10-year goal. That's destination focus. Guaranteed failure. Celebrate small wins along the way. That's dopamine dependence. Guaranteed burnout. Pivot if you're not seeing results within 18 months. That's impatience masquerading as wisdom. Research on delayed gratification and future orientation shows modern decline. Average temporal horizon, how far into future people plan, has decreased from 25+ years, 1960s, to under 5 years, 2020s. Modern minds literally cannot think long-term anymore. The infrastructure for long-term focus has been dismantled. Studies show that exposure to social media reduces future orientation. People become more present-focused after scrolling. Constant comparison to others' success highlights reduces willingness to commit to long, invisible developmental periods. Modern technology actively destroys long-term focus capacity. The cost? Nobody masters anything anymore. Surface-level competence in many things. Zero deep mastery in anything. Because mastery requires 20 to 30 years of focused daily practice, and modern minds can't maintain focus for 20 to 30 months. Chapter 7. The Path Forward. You don't need 30 years of practice like Musashi. You can begin building long-term focus today. Start week 1 to 4. Implement Michi Shūchū, path focus. Define daily path clearly. Instead of achieve a goal by date, define perform specific practice for time daily. Example, not become fit in 6 months, but train 1 hour daily. Path, not destination. Single day focus. Every day, only question. Did I walk the path today? Yes or no? Never ask, am I getting closer to my goal? That question destroys focus. Only, did I walk today? Path satisfaction. Find satisfaction in today's path walking itself. Completed today's practice? Success. Doesn't matter if you're closer to distant goal. Today's walking is today's success. Week 5 to 8. Add Tekiō Shūchū, adaptive focus. Clarify core purpose. Write down why this path matters. Not what you want to achieve, why you want this. Purpose is your direction. Not get promoted, goal, but develop professional mastery, purpose. Identify multiple paths. List 3 to 5 different ways to serve your purpose. Primary path, current practice, backup paths, alternatives if circumstances block primary. Purpose stays constant. Paths can shift. Practice path shifting. When obstacles appear, don't see them as failure. Ask, what path serves my purpose now? Shift without drama. Maintain focus on purpose. Week 9 to 12. Establish Moku Kōshin, purpose renewal. Monthly purpose inquiry. First day of each month, spend 30 minutes alone asking, why does this path matter? What deeper purpose does this serve? Is this still true? Honest questioning. Death contemplation. Monthly, contemplate. If I died today, would I be satisfied with yesterday's path walking? Does my daily path honor what truly matters? Mortality clarifies priorities. Allow evolution. Your purpose may deepen or shift over months/years. This isn't quitting, it's growth. Let purpose evolve while maintaining core direction. Expected timeline. Month 1. Initial shift from destination anxiety to path satisfaction. Month 3. Path walking becoming natural, daily focus stable. Month 6. First experience of purpose renewal, keeping fire alive. First path adaptation to obstacles. Year 1. Complete system integrated. Path focus automatic. Adaptive flexibility natural. Purpose connection strong. Year 5 plus. Long-term success emerging naturally from consistent path walking. Zero burnout. Complete focus sustainability. The transformation isn't immediate. But that's the point. Long-term focus is for long-term commitments. You're building capacity to stay focused for decades, not days. Musashi died at age 62, having maintained perfect focus on the warrior path for 50+ years. He achieved mastery not by chasing it, but by walking the path daily for half a century. The success was inevitable because the focus was unbreakable. That 30-year commitment from the opening, the goal that would take 3 decades. Most abandon it in 30 days because they're focused on the distant destination, measuring progress, feeling discouraged. Musashi would commit for 30 years because he'd focus only on today's path, never measuring progress, always satisfied with today's walking. That focus is available to you, not through superhuman discipline, through system, path focus, adaptive flexibility, purpose renewal. You're currently focused on destinations with deadlines. Achieve X by year Y. When progress is slow, you feel discouraged. When the timeline extends, you feel like quitting. This guarantees failure on long-term commitments. Shift to path focus. Define your daily path. Walk it today. Tomorrow, walk it again. Never measure progress toward distant goal. Only ask, did I walk today? After 30 years of daily walking, mastery will have emerged. But mastery was never the focus. Walking was the focus. If this video changed your perspective on long-term success and focus, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. And tell me in the comments, what long-term path do you commit to walking daily? Write it specifically, not become successful, destination, but practice specific thing for time daily, path. Define your walk. Remember Musashi's teaching. The destination-focused warrior quits when the destination feels too far. The path-focused warrior continues forever because the path itself is the point. Stop chasing distant success. Start walking today's path. Continue for decades. Success becomes inevitable. The focus begins now.